I'm doing as okay as I can be.
Would you please go ahead and introduce yourself to the jury?
My name is Rita, and I'm here as a character witness. I was subpoenaed to be here.
You said you were subpoenaed to be here?
Mm-hmm.
Were you subpoenaed by the defense?
Yes.
Now, Reba, I see that you have some crocheting in your lab. Tell me about that.
I'm narcoleptic, and I tend to fall asleep at random times. The crocheting, I don't even have to look at it, helps keep me awake so I don't fall asleep randomly. I know it's a bit awkward, but I'm not medicated, and it works.
How long has this been an issue?
I've always randomly fallen asleep in class since I think my earliest memories of it was probably 8 or 9 years old.
Reba, you had said that you were here to be a character witness for Tanner Horner. How do you know Tanner?
We were best friends when we were in 5th grade and dated briefly in high school. And again, briefly when we got older.
You said that you met him in school. What grade were you in when you first met him?
5th grade.
Did y'all hang out a lot?
On the playground, yeah.
And how often would you hang out?
Almost daily. Playing games like kickball or, pretend or something like that.
Did y'all do anything else together? What other types of games did you play?
Like back then, Harry Potter was really big. We would sometimes pretend to play something in Harry Potter, and I would be one of the bad guys or something like that.
What was Tanner like at that age?
He was energetic, talkative. It was always fun to be around.
Now, Reba, did you and Tanner ever attend church together?
Yes.
What grade were you in when y'all began attending church together?
10th grade.
How often would y'all attend church?
At least once a week, but sometimes twice a week.
Did you and Tanner enjoy going to church?
Yes, I enjoyed spending time with him and his family. He would often, during the services in the chapel where they would have the sermons, would have to wake me up because I would fall asleep.
So it wasn't just you and Tanner that attended, you attended with his family as well?
Mm-hmm.
When you say you attended with his family, who are you referring to?
His grandmother, his grandfather, and his little brother.
You said that you had originally met Tanner when y'all were in the 5th grade. Did you stay friends with him throughout high school?
Yes.
Did y'all attend high school together?
Yes.
Well, what was Tanner like in high school?
About the same. I mean, he was insecure about being in choir because his voice was changing.
Were there any other things that he was insecure about?
That one was the main one. He wanted to focus more on playing instruments and things like that. Try to have a music career when he grew up.
When y'all were in high school, were you still hanging out together the same amount of time that you did when you were in elementary school?
A little bit more. We had more freedom to be like going out to the mall and things like that.
And what kinds of things would y'all do in addition to going to the mall?
Sometimes we went out to eat with his grandparents, and it was really mainly going out to eat or at the mall or hanging out at his house.
Well, you said that you and Tanner had briefly dated while you were in high school.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
He was always really sweet, real gentlemanly. Again, this was a long time ago. But I enjoyed spending time with him back then.
Well, how'd y'all make that jump from childhood friends to high school dating?
He admitted to me that he had a crush on me And I'm like, why hadn't you asked me out? Because I'm the type that, the other person needs to make the first move. I don't really catch the hint.
Well, what was he like as a boyfriend?
He was sweet and endearing back then. He was very supportive and seemed real protective back then of me when things were bad.
When things were bad?
Yes.
Were things often bad for you?
On occasion, yes. I had issues at home sometimes, and the kids at school liked to tease and make fun of me behind my back. And whenever he was around, it didn't seem to happen as much.
As a boyfriend, did Tanner treat you well?
Yes.
Was he ever physically violent to you?
No.
Ever raise his voice to you?
No.
Did he ever pressure you into doing something that you didn't want to do?
No.
Oh, why did you two break up?
I pulled a really dumb move on my part and wanted to date somebody else instead. And so I broke up with Tanner to date another person.
How did he take that?
Not too well.
Why do you say that?
He was upset, and he had every right to be upset. He, chased me and the other guy on after school across the streets.
Well, did you think that he might hurt you? Hurt himself because of the breakup?
No, I didn't think about that. I was more afraid of the emotions rather than the actions.
With the, after the breakup, did you still see Tanner?
After the breakup, he did come to my house one time to ask, for clarification of what was going on. And he walked about 20 miles to my house, and I was more concerned about safety than the fact that he showed up.
When you say safety, whose safety?
His safety, because that was walking from Lake Worth all the way to Lahana, which is between Azle and Springtown.
Oh, what kind of road is that?
199, and it's pretty busy.
So when you say that you were afraid for his safety, was it just his safety while walking?
His safety while walking.
Well, after the breakup, did he seem to be depressed?
A little, but after a while, we were still able to maintain some sort of friendship.
And you said that he walked almost 20 miles to your house?
Yes.
Wanted some clarity
Yes.
about the breakup?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of this gesture?
At the moment, I was just shocked that he walked that far, and I was more afraid of him getting hit by a car. So I didn't really think too much of it other than, are you okay?
But you weren't worried that he was coming out there to harm you or anything, were you?
Mm-mm.
At some point, did you marry?
Yes, I did get married to another man.
After you married, did you maintain contact with Tanner?
Off and on, yes.
Are you and your husband still married?
By technicality, yes.
Have y'all separated?
A long time ago.
About how long ago?
When he first wanted to separate, let's see, that would be about 15 years when he first wanted to separate. And the full separation was about 13 years ago.
After you and your husband separated, did you get back into contact with Tanner?
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Well, we were already talking back and forth for a while, like I said, throughout the relationship that I had with my husband. He, when things got bad, I would vent to him or, just catch up.
Did you ever pursue him with a romantic interest involved?
Yes.
Was Tanner interested in dating you at the time?
No, he wanted to keep it more friends with benefits type thing.
And what do you mean by friends with benefits?
Not exactly dating, but, still kind of together.
How did you feel about that? Were you okay with it?
I was okay with it, but I did try to pressure for more than just that.
What, when you say you were pressuring him for more than just that, what kind of relationship did you want?
I wanted exclusively dating, because I wanted to be with somebody who I could be safe with, or who I felt that I could be safe with.
At some point, did y'all begin a relationship like that?
Yeah, sort of. So I would say we kind of dated again.
Was this Tanner and Reba 2.0, was that different from your high school dating?
Not really. I mean, other than, just being adults.
When you look back on comparing the two relationships as the adult, do you feel that you two were more mature at the time?
When we were adults, yes, we were more mature.
Do you think that y'all had a greater level of emotional intimacy?
Yes.
Now, when I ask about emotional intimacy, what does that mean to you?
Being able to confide in one another and not have judgments on what the other person did.
And is this something that Tanner was able to do?
Yes.
And how would he show this level of emotional intimacy with you?
We'd sit up late at night and talk, or, go and do things together from time to time.
Now, Reba, in addition to emotional intimacy, was there a new physical intimacy?
Yes.
Did he ever pressure you to do anything that you didn't want to do?
Never.
Did he always ask for consent before something happened?
Yes.
Was that important to you?
Yes.
Why was that important to you?
Past abuse.
Now, Reba, how long did this new relationship with Tanner last?
Let's see. About 3 months.
Lucky. Did you enjoy spending time with him during the 3 months?
Yes.
And why did y'all break up the second time?
He was very clear that he wasn't ready to be a dad yet, and that he wanted to focus on his music and that sort of thing, which I totally understood. And then my partner that I'm with now wanted kids and wanted a family, so I took the chance with him.
How'd that work out?
We have been together for almost 13 years.
When you were with Tanner before, how many kids did you have?
2.
Now, after y'all broke up the second time, were you able to maintain a friendship with him?
Off and on, yes. It would be sporadic whenever we got into contact. I hadn't really talked to him since 2017.
Do you still have any mementos of your time together with Tanner?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It's a little black cat with a spider web on its belly. The day that we got it, we were in high school and at the mall. I had spent most of my birthday money on a book, and I absolutely had to have this cat, and I was $2 short. So he pitched in the rest of the money, and I got the cat.
Do you still have that cat?
Yes.
So what happened when y'all broke up? Who got custody of the cat?
I did. On occasion, while we were dating, the little stuffed cat would go to his house, but for the most part, I kept the cat.
I'll pass the witness.
Cross-examination. Briefly, Your Honor, thank you. Ma'am, My name is James Stanton. I'm the district attorney for Wise and Jack County. I want to, just a little bit there, I see you knitting away. Do you knit faster when you're nervous or slower when you're not? Is it change?
The speed changes from time to time.
Okay.
So rather, it depends on if I feel the stitches.
Okay. Well, it seems like to me, and I think you've, and you said you've had this problem since you were how old?
About 8 or 9 years old, I've been, I would randomly fall asleep. I also have a condition called cataplexy, which means like if I get too excited or if I'm spooked, that I will either go into a seizure-like event, or I jump and I fall, like all my muscles won't move.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna do any of that to you today, okay? I just note that, so you've had that since you were a kid, and now you're a mom, family, everything else. So it seems like you've kind of found a way to work around whatever problems you had or you were born with.
Yep.
Now, you did talk a little bit about an instance that you got the new boyfriend, and you said that Mr. Horner had chased you and the boyfriend. I'm trying to make sense of that.
He just chased us, asking us why, and I went across the street to where my mom was to pick me up, and I just left it at that.
Okay. I'm just trying to get a little clarity on that. And it also, the big thing here is you talked a lot about you said you'd had some rough childhood. I'm not going to get into that. You said you've had some past abuse and things of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're still a mom, got a family. And let me just ask you, just to be clear here, you're not a felon, are you?
No.
You haven't killed anybody?
No.
No sexual assault on your part,
No.
despite your rough childhood?
Yes.
And the last thing I'm going to ask you is that you said you're here to be a character witness for Mr. Horner. Is that right?
Correct.
Let me just ask you, do you know what happened in this case?
I have heard.
Well, what have you heard?
Your Honor, that's hearsay.
Sustained.
Tell me what you know about this case.
Objection, Your Honor, that's based on hearsay.
Sustained. Hang on, you don't have to answer.
So as part of this case, have you talked to the defendant at all as part of this case?
No.
So are you aware that the original story that he told in this case was that he ran into Athena Strand?
Objection, Your Honor, still hearsay.
Sustained.
Pass the witness.
Redirect.
Yes, and Reba, I'm sorry, I was looking at my notes and I realized I had left a section out. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about Tanner's home life. Did you ever go to Tanner's house?
Yes.
Who did he live with?
His grandmother and his grandfather?
Was his father around at the time?
No.
What about his mom?
Very sporadic. I think I've only, met her once, and he would hardly talk about her back then.
When you met her, what was your impression of his mother?
I did not have a very good impression of her.
Why not?
When I did meet her, we were going to Six Flags together, and I don't think she was in the right frame of mind at the time. And my parents were very strict about having adult supervision, and every time she tried to run off, we would have to go and find her, and it felt almost like babysitting.
What did you mean by not in the right frame of mind?
I don't think she was sober.
And did you ever meet Tanner's grandparents?
Yes.
And what was your impression of his grandmother, Jackie?
Very loving. She wa- she did everything she could to help support them and make sure that they had the best that they could give.
And what about his grandfather, Bill?
He reminded me a bit of my dad. My dad's a veteran, and he was quiet and almost stoic at times. So I really didn't talk to him much. He just sat there and was really quiet.
Were you around when, or let me back up, were you able to see any interactions between Bill and Tanner?
Not really. I mean, there was like maybe one time that I remember when I went over to his house, and it was really early before church, and that morning Tanner was really abnormally quiet, and I could feel like his grandfather was a little upset or angry that morning. He didn't say anything. There wasn't any actual interaction while I was there, but you could just feel the emotions in the room.
Were they good emotions?
No, they didn't feel like they were pleasant emotions.
All right, I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Staton,
Nothing further, Your Honor.
may this witness be finally excused?
No objections.
Any objection from the state?
No, no.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Just can we approach real quick?
Yeah, I was going to say, counsel.